Here is a reminder from Satish Korpe, the president of Indian American Forum for Political Education, about the mid-term elections coming up on Tuesday, November 2nd.
Namaste. I am Satish Korpe, president of the Indian American Forum for Political Education, Virginia. Today I am here to remind you about the elections. The election is on Tuesday, November 2nd, 2010. It is an exciting one for an off-year election. We have 4 congressional races in Northern Virginia. The incumbent from Congressional District 8, Jim Moran, Democrat, is challenged by Republican Patrick Murray. Congressional District 5, Tom Perriello, Democrat, is challenged by Robert Hurt. CD 10, Frank Wolf, Republican incumbent, is challenged by Jeff Barnett, Democrat. CD 11, the incumbent Jerry Conley, Democrat, is challenged by Keith Femian, Republican. Virginia ballot has 3 constitutional amendments. 1. Giving local jurisdictions the authority to regulate real estate taxes. Number 2. Giving relief to permanently disabled veterans from real estate taxes. Number 3. To allow the jurisdictions to increase rainy day funds from 10% to 15% of the annual tax revenue. In Maryland, there is the U.S. Senate race, incumbent Barbara Mikulski against Eric Warkarts, Republican, and the governor's race with Governor O'Malley, the incumbent Democrat, challenged by former Governor Robert Ulrich, Republican. Majority in the U.S. House requires 218 out of 435 votes. There are 256 Democrats and 179 Republicans. Majority in the U.S. Senate requires 51. There are 59 Democrats and 41 Republicans. The redistricting occurs every 10 years following the census and is scheduled for 2011. It has long-term effects on the future profile of legislators. There are some fear factors being introduced in the election: the social change, the immigrants, socialism, the lack of representation due to redistricting, lack of regulation versus more regulation of business and corporate practices in many sectors, especially the commercial, mortgage, and investment banking sectors, lower taxes versus more taxes and government bonds. Terrorism, both international and domestic. Is the military might by itself sufficient to crush terrorism, or the diplomacy by itself enough to smooth out the relations? Or do we need a well-balanced approach like the old-fashioned stick and carrot policy to fight terrorism? Employment. Who will be able to start the process for getting 10% unemployment down to 5%? Is it the government or the private sector or both? The Supreme Court justices are appointed by the President and approved by the Congress as positions become vacant. One of the most powerful arm of the government is the Supreme Court. In addition to overturning laws and regulations, at times it can decide who could be the next president of the country. In summary, you do not have to be an Obama fan to recognize that the president has taken up on the most important challenge of these times, the financial crisis for all Americans, on war footing. Like any war, there are fights won, conceded, and compromised. The main goal is to carry on through the crisis. There can be many different and opposing strategies to win a war. Same is true for the economic war. The president needs support to finish the work. We should not change horses in the middle of the stream. It probably took us more than 8 years to create this crisis. A full 4-year term should be able to bring some stable and positive changes. Just like most of us supported the commander-in-chief who began the Iraq war, irrespective of the party philosophy and other disagreements, we need to support the current president to win the war on economy and health care. If there is a hung Congress, we will get stuck in a political tug-of-war for the next few years. The ultimate winner or loser will be the American public. So my friends, I urge the citizens to get out and vote and make your voice heard. Thank you.